Hey there. Okay, so we're on to the final lecture for the axe, and you can see I've completed my axe here. This is it, done. This is what I'm going to put into Unity, and we'll see what it looks like. So what did I do to my head here? A couple of things. First off, I actually modified the wooden handle as well as the metal head. I just added a dirt layer at the top, because you can see it was like that. So I added this dirt layer and I painted some more dirt, especially around the head where the handle goes into the metal head. And you can see just by doing that, it gives it the impression it's actually going into the metal. Can you see that? Just by, and all I did was I added some, if you're going close, just added some dirt, some darkness around the edge. Get some dirt. In here, dirt, shrink it down by holding, I can rotate it, control, shrink by holding control and right mouse button, take it right down. Oops, one colour. So I can pick the colour off there. But I only want to use, don't want to use any of these. I only want to paint into the dirt. So make sure you've only got color selected here. It was, and it came, all these came back on, I'm not sure why, so that's interesting. Anyway, so I just went around and painted this, and it just gives it disguises that harsh line between the wood and the metal for starters, and it gives the impression, like I said, that the actual wood is going into the metal head. It's quite a good little tip, that, you know, if you ever need to do that again. So it's quite handy. See, it's very good. Okay, so, and I did the same on this side. So I painted this a little more. I painted it a bit darker into these grooves here, just to give it a bit more definition. I made it really dirty on the end, because it would be, because he'd obviously lean on it and stand, it would stand on its end quite a lot. So I just splodged that with lots of dirt. That's what I did to the handle. And the head, the metal head here, I added quite a bit. So we started off with the steel base, and then I added some, I added a stamp. If you're getting close, you can see Kev Metals, established 2017. There you go. So that's that, and all that was a fill layer, and everything's turned off except normal and height. I don't even think, no, you don't even need normal on. So you can turn the normal off, just leave the height on. It's the same as the handle for the stitching, exactly the same technique. And I created, actually, to put those letters in, I created, if you go to alphas, it's not here, oh there it is, I created this texture. All that is, I went into Photoshop, 512, black and white, so it's black with white text, and I saved it out as a TGA. That's it. And then I dragged it into my alphas, and when you get the box come up, select alpha on the list. That's it, that's all I did. And then I just used it as a brush to paint in the mask layer. Show you now. Stop that. Boom. There you go. So I could put a big S on the side if I wanted to, but undo that. I don't want to do that. So that's Kev Metals there. That's what I did for that. Next one up is just another bump layer. And it's just full of scratches and gouges. You can see when I switch it on and off. You can see they're pretty severe, like it's been chopping some things here pretty heavily, and it's gone into the metal. It's just carved chunks out of the metal. It gives it a really nice effect. and that's the same technique as the one below, just everything off except the height map. And then I used scratches. I think in here there's 3 scratch here. There you go, scratches, yeah, 4 or 5 scratches there, which you can use to make those kind of marks. And I did that on both sides. Let's just rotate my environment so you can see. There you go. Did that on that side too. By the way, to rotate your environment while you're in your window, you can press the shift key and then right button, and that spins it around as well. So just a nice tip there. So if I go around here and I press shift and right button, I can rotate it around to have a look. So that's that layer. And then I added this grime layer. So it's just a layer, it's just a fill layer with a mask, obviously. And then I added another generator. And then this time, this generator, I added metal edge wear. But I added it to the dirt, and I chose that color, dirt color, and it just makes it look like it's got mud on it and a bit dirty. But it puts it around the edges, and it uses the curvature map to know where these edges are, where the curves are, which is quite clever. And then once you've got the generator in, you can obviously go down and adjust your values and make it look how you want, basically. So on top of that, I added the blood layer. You can see there. This is what I asked you to do. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. And then I added some more dirt around where the wooden handle meets the metal. I added some more dirt just on the metal itself, not on the wood. That gives it, just sort of, it complements what's on the wood. And see, I've not named that, so I need to do that. Dirt, edge, dirt. So this one here was, let's call that brand, and then this one was scratches. So just keep, like I said, keep all your layers named correctly, and so you know what everything is. So we do get to dirt, and that was it. That's it. That's all I added, and I got that, and I thought that's plenty. Like I said before, too much can be bad. Often less is more. But I keep looking at this thinking there's probably a bit too much on this head, but it's it's left out in the open. It's in the woods. It's dirty. It's murky. I think what I'm going to do is leave it like this. See what it looks like in situation when we get our hut in actual Unity in the scene, and we put this in its place. We'll see what it looks like then. I think it will look pretty cool. So that's it. Now we can export this. So export the maps, save it, and export the maps. So you know how to do this. You've done it before. Export textures. Use Unity 5 standard. I've actually set up my own one, my Unity 5 metallic, and all I've done with that, if you come into configuration down to Unity, you'll see them all here. Well, you can duplicate this for starters, which is what I did, and then I renamed it to my Unity 5 standard metallic there, and I removed emission, took that off using this X button, so I deleted that, and then I added ambient occlusion and height, and you can see them over here. So you just, for both, they're both grey, so you just go up here, click create grey twice, and then you have to go in here, rename them, and rename that one to ambient occlusion and height, and then drag from your input maps drag ambient occlusion into this box here, and you see the color matches. And for height, do the same. Drag it over to here and drop it in there, and you'll see the color matches again. So what I'll do is spit us out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maps. So if we go to export, make sure it's selected up here. Config my Unity 5 standard metallic. That's really important, because if you don't select it there, even though you've got it selected there, if it's not selected there, it won't use it. It will use whatever's in there. So make sure you do that. Make sure you set up your directory. So we go into Axe. We won't click on it. We'll just drop them in here, and we're going to select that folder, and we're going to spit out. Well, PNGs will be fine. It's up to you, whatever you want, really. TGA, if it's here. Targa, that's pretty good too. 8 bits is fine. That's all fine. That's fine. So that's all good. So it'll be Axe single mat 2048. It's probably a bit big. We could probably drop that to 1024 if I'm honest. But we'll leave it like that for now, and we can always come back. That's the beauty of Substance. Just come back, spit them out again. In fact, before we do this, no, let's spit them out so we've got them, and then we'll do it. So export, done. Okay, that's it. Job's a good one. Okay, so just out of curiosity, because I'm going to drop this to 1024 just to see what it looks like. Calculate, and there it is. Well, not much different, to be perfectly honest. There's a little bit hazy, but considering when you think about it, it's going to be this big and you're going to be looking down at it. You know what I mean? A 2048 seems quite big, but you know, later on in the course we're going to go through optimization, and these are the sort of things we're going to be looking at. Do I really need a 2048 for that object? The answer is probably no, I don't. But we'll leave it and put it back on 2048, or we can put it on 4K, which is completely ridiculous. You can see it building here, this line going up, and create a massive, and you can see it's really noisy because the resolution just can't cope. The object's too small for the resolution of the texture. So let's put it back down to 2048. There you go. Even that's a little bit noisy. So I think a 1024 would probably be okay, considering your screen res is probably 1920 by 1080. So that resolution on that texture is bigger than your screen size, which quite frankly is probably too much. So when we come to optimization, we'll remember this, and that will probably be one of our targets. So leave that now, and save it and quit out and go into Unity. Okay, so here we are inside Unity with our tree, and which we've got to do the bark. I know we've done the UVs, but we're going to do the bark next probably, so get that out of the way. Now we're going to bring in our axe. So you know how to do that. Just go into your we don't want to drag it in here, so just go into your raw project files, meshes, high detail, find your axe, there it is, right click, copy that, go back to there, go into Unity, AutoGames, assets, meshes, high poly, and paste it in there. Paste HD axe, boom. If you close that window, you'll see Unity does its little magic thing. So it's converting the mesh. Okay, and there it is. So go into your meshes, go into high poly, and it should be there, HD axe. Does that look correct? Let's bring it in and have a look. Yep, there it is. Oh, it's really, really big. Either Either that's really big, or my barrels are really small. So something's gone a bit wrong there. So I need to check out what's gone wrong there. Okay, so it's not good. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we go into materials. It would have created axe there. So we copy this out. I want to drag it into my text matte folder like that. Axe matte. We go to the folder where we exported our materials, which is here, if you remember. Mesh textures axe, and here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can drag all these into here like that. Close that window, and you can see they're all up the top. So that one we'll need converting first. Make sure you turn that into a normal map. Click apply. That's quite important. So axe, let's have a look. Right, our axe, that's our albedo. Yep. So material, that should already be on there. Let's drop that into the albedo like that. It's quite dark, so make sure that your color is white. This is, you know, I've something I've noticed about bringing textures from Substance into Unity is that they always appear quite dark, and I've often had to sort of brighten them up a little bit. But anyway, let's move on. So that's our metallics. Let's do that one next. Metallic. Bump. So we should get all our metallic pieces. Yep. So like that. Well, it's looking pretty good. It's looking exactly like it was in Substance. Almost. Let's put our normal map on. That always makes it pop. There we go. And you can see my Kev Metals logo right there. So that works really well. And all our... I think that the albedo is just not bright enough. It's just gone. It looks a bit milky. That normal map needs toning down on the handle there because that's too heavy. Let me just turn the object around. Okay, so that's a bit better. Oh, there you go. It's probably the lighting. It could be the lighting in the scene, so we have to be careful not to. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, my bad. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I will adjust these normal maps on the handle there just to flatten them out because that's too much. And it's not coming through well enough. You know, it's not coming through enough, I don't think. They're quite. So what I might do is just take it into Photoshop and just tweak that. The only danger of doing that is if you do want to make changes from Substance in Substance, then you have to remember the changes that you did, because if you export them again, then this will return. So you need to really do as much as you can within Substance. So we might just go in and brighten all this up color wise because it's not coming through as much as I thought it would. Let's look at our material again. Yep, that's okay. Metallic is fine. So it looks pretty good down here. I think it might be the lighting, it could be the lighting in the scene, not doing it any favours at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like that because it's actually not too bad. It looks pretty good. It looks kind of old and beaten up and bloody on here. Yeah, everything's come through pretty much. The wood isn't bad, and then it just kind of loses it around here a bit, but apart from that it's actually pretty good. So I'm going to leave that for now, but I will come back to it and tweak it. So there is our axe, and I've got to look into why it's too big. It's odd, you know, the scale of it's gone wrong somewhere, so I need to check that out. Yeah, this needs fixing. Okay, so I need to go away and do that. So that's it for now. I hope you got your results that you wanted. I was 90% of the way there, I think, but that's common. You know, that's really common, not to get, you know, making tweaks after you get it into your target platform is something you're going to have to get used to, especially if your art director turns around and says, no, I don't like that, I've changed this, that and the other, and you're going to have to make some changes anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So there. Okay, so that's the axe done pretty much. I'll make these changes. I won't show you, so the only changes I'm going to make is I'm going to tone down this normal map on here. I'm going to just increase the colouring around here because it's kind of dulled out. I might just add some more in there just to bring it up a bit, but that's it. And the scale, obviously, just look at why it's scaled weirdly. It might be that I just didn't set it right in the first place. I can't remember doing that. So that's it. So I'll see you in the next lecture.